Hey, IcyCat here once again with the latest monthly patch update notes, this time for April. What's been fixed or changed this time? Stick around to find out. Patch 2.3 goes live tomorrow on PC, that's March 30th on PC, and tentatively April 5th for consoles. Although last month when they did the 2.2 update, they changed this a little bit. They said consoles would be coming a full week later, and then they wound up moving it up several days. So it's possible that could change again like it did last month, but at the time of this recording, that is accurate for April 5th for consoles. As usual, the extra week delay is due to the fact that Microsoft and Sony certification processes requires a longer testing period, whereas PC doesn't have to wait for that and they can go online faster. Something interesting to note is when the game first launched, they said they were committing to mid-month patch updates, but these last couple of updates have been coming right away at the beginning of the new month. So what's new for update 2.3? First off, let's start with the balancing. Good news for a lot of us that have been on the receiving end of Frost Super 90, because it has a huge range nerf coming. It used to be 5 meters before the damage fall off would kick in, and now it's down to 3 meters. That doesn't sound like much, but we're told that that puts it about on par with the FBI's M1014 shotgun. Buck's skeleton key underbarrel shotgun attachment got enhanced environmental damage. Now this doesn't affect player damage. You can see here the size of the holes it used to make. Now check out these much larger holes. This makes it more of a breaching tool. Here you can see how many shots it used to take to get through a wall to vault in. It wasn't really that much different than any other shotgun. But now if you're in optimal range to a surface for max spread and penetration, you can one-shot a hole big enough to vault through. This falls a little bit more in line with what you'd expect when you read the description of the gun. It said it was a breaching shotgun, and so you would think more of environmental breaching and you'd be using it almost as a tool. The dev team said that they found that people were using the shotgun as more of a weapon attachment, and while that is a valid use for it, they weren't really using it as a tool to modify the environment with, which is what its original intention was. These changes will help players use it as more of the tool that it was intended to modify the environment around them. For further weapon balancing, the SMG-11 has also been nerfed. Essentially what they did was they jacked up the feel of the recoil since too many people were using it as a primary weapon rather than the secondary it was intended as. Now, while this is one way of handling the problem, I think the fact that it could take an ACOG scope was the bigger problem to this being used as a primary. Combine that with the fact that the SAS pump shotgun, it's just terrible compared to other shotguns, so people would pair it with that, but they'd fall back to it because it was just more reliable to get the kills with. Additionally, there's been a couple of adjustments to continue to work on spawn killing countermeasures. These were put in by adding a few things to block that initial line of sight. Hit registration also got some work. This is good because while they've done some work on it already, I still see problems with hit registration from time to time. Another big change they made with the patch is some adjustments that they use in their lag compensation algorithm. They say that this should reduce the so-called peeker's advantage effect. Notice they said reduce the effect, so take from that what you will. Ranked play received a bunch of adjustments and updates. Multiple connection bugs have been addressed, and reconnecting to matches should be effective now. Custom matches will also have a reconnect option. Ranked matches will only start if there are 10 players in the lobby. To prevent people from backing out when you see high-level or low-level players, they're considering hiding some of this info from players in Ranked for a future update. Abandoning a lobby queue may also, in a future patch, count as a match abandon as well. Casual matchmaking got some improvements that should cause players of closer skill levels to be paired more frequently while still trying to maintain faster queue times. They've done some adjustment to the Fair Fight anti-cheat system by expanding the criteria to identify cheaters. Now, as a console player, I don't see a whole lot of this. I've only seen the Fair Fight ban message pop up a couple of times for players that are within our match, but I hear a lot of people say the anti-cheat measures on PC are very ineffective and people get away with a lot there. So hopefully this helps PC players a lot more. Again, I'm on console, so I don't know how rampant that is, but I hear it's pretty bad. There's also been some updates made to the spectator cam feature that allow you to follow the action more coherently and identify things a little easier, as well as addressing some glitches that were present in this mode. There's a slew of miscellaneous smaller fixes that are mostly level specific, but some of the bigger ones are that they've made improvements to the placement of wall reinforcements to prevent gaps in some spots. Now they know they haven't got all of the gaps in this patch, but they said they got a pretty big chunk of the ones that are there, and they'll keep working on the others for the next patch. Another minor issue, but one that will be noticeable in overall gameplay, is that they've fixed players receiving unnecessary warnings during the prep phase when moving too close to barricaded windows and doors. Now I'm not sure if this is a total removal of this message or simply a drastic reduction in its prompting. We'll have to see. A change comes to secure area where players had no visual feedback before alerting them to a contested area. Now that should be resolved and you should have on-screen notification of that. A variety of sound issues have been worked on, including sound randomly cutting out and then back in. Now if they really did fix that one, it would be great, because that's a game breaker when it happens, since sound is so important in this game while you're playing. As always, for a list of all the changes listed in the patch notes, check out the official subreddit or forums, the links to which you'll find in the expanded comments below the video player. Later on this week, I'll be making an appearance once again on AimAssist.com's Siege the Show podcast. Now, if you want to check that out, that should be up anytime after Thursday for you to listen to. Once again, that's Siege the Show podcast over at AimAssistGaming.com. Those guys do a really good job of dissecting the game, breaking down strategies, talking about the latest things that are going on. It's a really great show. You should check it out for sure. Also, a reminder that I'm still collecting your questions for a Q&A video that I'll probably be doing later this week. So if you missed your chance to submit those questions to me the other week, you've still got time. Just leave them in the comments below, or you can post them on my Facebook or Twitter pages. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest news and information. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.